Good morning. Hopefully you can hear me and see me good. Thank you, Ava. Good morning, Lily. Good morning, Ava. Good morning, Facebook. Oh, it's been a long week. Anyways, sorry the dog is messing with my tripod. Of course, he wants to play because I went live. Oh, so please, I'm live. Anyway, it's Saturday, it's AA day, and I'm tired. But please don't pass judgment or be rude or harass anyone in the comments or in the chat because they're here for getting help or helping a friend, learning things to help family or friends with becoming sober, and they just don't know how to go about that. So please just don't be harassing people and don't be judgmental. Thank you. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If He wants me to throw this ball, sorry. 1. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defective characters. 7. Humbly asked Him to remove our shortcomings. 8. Made a list of all persons we had harmed and become willing to make amends to them all. 9. Made recommends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. 10. Continue to take personal inventory when wrong, promptly admit it. 11. Sought through prayer and meditation to improve our contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Twelve traditions. Our common welfare should... Alright, that's enough. Our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. Tradition 2. For our group purpose, there is but one ultimate authority, a loving God, as He may express Himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants, they do not govern. 3. The only requirement for AA membership is the desire to stop drinking. 4. Each group should be autonomous except in matters affecting other groups or AA as a whole. Thank you for that, Ava. 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to alcoholics who still suffer. 6. An AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility outside or outside enterprises, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. 7. Every AA group ought to be fully self-supporting, declining outside contributions. 8. Alcoholics Anonymous should remain forever non-professional, but our service centers may employ special workers. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. He just got up here, that's why I was looking up Crazy Doll. 10. Alcoholics Anonymous has no opinion on outside issues, hence the AA name ought never be drawn into public controversy. 11. Our primary Our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. We need always maintain personal anonymity at the level of press, radio, and films. 12. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. So, I started a new job, and it whooped my behind. But I felt like after my first full day out on the floor that I was not going to make it 10 hours. I made it 10 hours, but I had to go to the wellness center a couple times. Let my husband know what was going on. He goes, "You're done." And guess what? I took Tuesday off and I went back to work Wednesday. So I'm still doing it. I don't give up that easy. But so yes, to talk about some of my journey that I have not talked about. There's a lot of stories from my drinking days that I do remember. A lot of people have blackouts. Oh, and I forgot that, sorry, you, Facebook, you couldn't hear me. Anyways, I did all the traditions and steps, and, now hopefully you can hear me over here on, Facebook. But anyways, so, like I said, I would drink as a teenager, but it wasn't an all the time thing. Then I got pregnant with my oldest son when I was 16. No, I was 17, right? Yeah, I no, I was I was 17 when Lord was born, but Anyway, so I would drink as a teenager, but then when I had my oldest son, I didn't drink at all. And then I had my second son, and I didn't drink very often then, or at all. I turned 21, and then I would go out every other weekend or a weekend a month or something, But I still was not that alcoholic self that I had become. So in my teenage years and my middle life, it was like I could control it. I didn't have to. I wasn't drinking on a day-to-day basis, and I didn't start drinking the alcohol daily until I was in my 30s, and I'm sure that it was not all fun and games for anyone because I was not a very nice person um, to anybody. I wasn't nice to my family. I wasn't nice to my kids. Um, I didn't get abusive, but the verbal was bad. And, you don't remember everything you say or everything that you do on a regular drinking day. Like for me, my favorite thing was the telephone. Yeah, you heard that right. The telephone. Good old telephone you could hide behind. Or so you thought. Um, because I would call people and keep them on the phone for hours, babbling about nothing. And, I'm sure I didn't say very nice things on the phone either. But of course, some of the phone calls I do not remember. But when I was in my 30s, I was doing all kinds of stupid stuff. I would go and overdraw my account to have beer. I would go to the store and buy liquor. My favorite go-to was Jack Daniels. And if I couldn't have Jack Daniels, it was Black Velvet. I really didn't like the tequila. It was just, but, and I didn't even stop drinking to go camping, to go on trips. I would drink through it all. And, yeah, I remember going round around the table, a picnic table, when we were camping one time. My brother-in-law would open a beer. He'd sit it down and forget that he opened it, and me and my sister were following him around the table. We weren't wasting it, he was. But we drank it. And when I first started drinking, I was drinking I started off with the drinking of the hard liquor. This is when I finally, became who I avoided for many, many years. Um, my go-to was whiskey. I love the whiskey or the strong mixed drinks. And then I figured, okay, well, I'm this far into being an alcoholic now, I need to stop or slow down. And that turned into, I turned to beer instead, thinking, okay, I'm not nice when I'm drinking whiskey, but maybe if I drink beer, it'll be alright. No, it wasn't alright. Um, because just switching doesn't change a thing. You're still an alcoholic, you know. But that's what most of us do. Is we'll start off with a certain drink, and then we will switch it to like cheaper stuff, and it doesn't make any difference. You're still getting drunk. It doesn't matter if it's beer uh, or whiskey. It's just gonna do the same. And I finally decided one day that I was watching TV and I saw on there an ad for depression. And I was like, that's probably my problem. It is. And so when you're doing the drinking, you're covering something. And you're medicating yourself from whatever. And for me, I was hiding from my depression. I've always had anxiety. And you have to remember back at that point, a lot of people wouldn't admit that they had depression and stuff. So I finally did, and I got put on meds for it. That didn't stop me from drinking though, because I figured, oh, I can take these and drink on top of it. It'll just make them feel a whole lot better, you know. Not dumb. Don't mix it. Believe me, do not mix it. But I got sober once for a year. I know I've already shared this part of my story, but it's just better telling you again because it does happen. The relapse can happen to you when you least expect it, and you think you're all better because you've gone so long without drinking that you won't end up back down that rabbit hole that you just came from. I'm here to tell you, you do go right back down there and it doesn't take as long. So it just is proof to me, seeing as I have done that, it's proof to me that no, I cannot ever go back and take another drink because that's where I'll end up again. And I don't want to end up at the bottom again. It's hard to climb out. It took me a long time to figure out what way I needed to go. After I went back out, I was drunk every day for I don't know how long. And finally, we moved far away from family, and I was still drinking. But while we were gone, I decided, all right, I gotta stop drinking. I got to stop. And so I quit drinking. And we moved back to where we've always lived, right here in the Oregon Washington area, and I reached out to a friend of mine who I've known since I was 16, and he said something about AA, and so I went ahead and started AA. I still don't like to go to meetings without my sponsor because she makes me feel more comfortable being in a meeting, if that makes sense. But she's been my sponsor since I first started AA, and um, I just I picked her as a sponsor before I even knew that I needed to get one. So she has been a great person to me, always celebrating my sobriety birthday every year. Um, yes, even during COVID, I did the same things for my sister when she celebrated her sobriety date, and we had that going on, and so um, there was ways around it. But so yeah, I found AA thanks to a friend, and being in AA taught me a lot about myself and things that I needed to do on a daily basis just to live my life to the fullest sober and enjoy my life being sober. And not every day is great. Not every day am I happy. Uh, there's sad days, just like any normal human being. I have bad days as well. You know, I'm not perfect. And, but yeah, it is being sober for me has been the best parts of my life, other than getting married and having my kids. But that, being sober is the best. And I strive to be the best me. I don't sugarcoat stuff. Um, I say it how it is. I'm truthful, and I have seen so many wonderful things with sober eyeballs. And I was very lucky that I quit drinking when I did because I got to watch both of my boys walk and get their diploma. Um, I helped other people. I really hope that this helped someone or more than just one. But I learned that I have to share it. I cannot keep the gift to myself. So I started doing it here because here I can say I have friends. I have a wonderful community that I am with in uh these social medias that I use, and I'm happy that I can share my story and help the next person to live a better life. Um, it's gonna be a long, hard road, but it's it's well worth it. Every day that you are sober is worth it, regardless if it's a bad day or a good day. It's still great to be sober. It's gonna be a struggle at first, but you'll make it. You'll make it. You just have to want it and want it for the right reason. And the right reason is for you. Because you have to admit it to yourself. I'm an alcoholic. And that is the hardest step that you can make. But it's worth it. I've just been blessed to have a gift to be able to share it with others. And I don't see the people that it's helping other than my sister and my cousin, but that's okay. I know it's helping. It's helping the next one to make that choice, to give it up and go for the life of sobriety. Sobriety is wonderful, regardless. Every morning I'm blessed to be here because I'm sober. I'm blessed to have the things that I have. If I wasn't sober, I wouldn't have anything. And who knows if I would even be here. I sure would not be here sharing my story. But, um, yeah, if you're struggling, just know that there's help out there. Find a meeting, Google AA meetings. That's how I find some meetings that if I feel like I have to go to a meeting, I will, before I go on vacation or while I'm on vacation, I will search where a meeting is. If I have to go to a meeting, that way I know where it is. And that's my sister and I both. We both do that. And usually we're on vacation together. But knowing that there is help, knowing that there are meetings everywhere, knowing that I'm not alone, that I'm not the only one, it all helps. And when you go to an AA meeting, people are more understanding in a meeting. And the reason I say that is because we all are striving for the same goal. And that is to become sober and stay sober. And so we always share how our week went, or what steps did you end up having to use this week, or um, just tell something about your story. And you don't have to talk. If you choose not to talk, that's fine. That's fine. We do not force people to talk in the meeting. We don't force people to do anything. Now, when I first started AA, I did do service work. I would put up the pamphlets for meetings. Um, um, I put the books out, pick up the chairs, move the tables back, all kinds of service work. But that's how we repay for us being able to have that space. And being able to share things with people that are just like us, it helps. It really does help. I'm not going to say that my first day I shared my story. I did not. I didn't share anything. Now, we did start doing, if it was your birthday, you had to chair the meeting. I had already been chairing meetings because we all share that responsibility to our fellow members. We all take turns doing service work. But service work and sharing stories of AA is a great way to be able to help the others, whether they are newcomers or old timers. We all have something in common, and that is we are alcoholics and we are trying to get sober or trying to stay sober. And I know that during those couple of years we just passed by, some of my friends went back out. They can come back. Just because you go out does not mean you're not welcome. Does not mean you're not welcome, because everyone is welcome to AA. And the more people that know about AA, the better, because it does help. It's not the cure-all by any means, but it does help. It helps us in ways that you wouldn't think that it would. Um, but after all, none of us are professionals at being sober, because you can't be. Because nobody's perfect at being sober. Nobody has the perfect day with no breakdown or no happiness, you know? There's happiness every day that you're sober. You may not feel that way, but I'm happy just to be sober. So, and of course the dog wants to play. Can I see it? Let me show them. This is his ball. Aunt Lily gave him this ball. It's got a ball in it and it has a squeaky. And he can't get the squeaker out. But anyway, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live, and I'll read the daily reflection here on YouTube, and I'll post it on my wall on Facebook. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Keep coming back. It works if you work it. Dude. Oh, let me get my phone down. Today's daily reflection, May 4th. Entirely honest. We must be entirely honest with somebody if we expect to live long or happily in this world. That is Alcoholics Anonymous, page 73 and 74. Honesty, like all virtues, is to be shared. It began after I shared my whole life story with someone in order to find my place in the fellowship. Later, I shared my life in order to help the newcomer find his place with us. This sharing helps me to learn honesty in all my dealings, and to know that God's plan for me comes true through honest openness and willingness. And that is a fact. So, I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I am working tomorrow, a 10-hour shift. So, I work 4 things a week, and yeah. Anyways, I love you guys, and be safe out there, and remember, stay sober, and you're not alone. Reach out if you need help. There's always someone to help. So, I love you guys. Be safe. Be kind.